Greetings! I'm racing with a train here next to the city of Pernik. I don't know if you saw the train over there on the tracks. Anyway, I was just wondering how should I start this video, but let me just tell you, today we are celebrating the New Year's Eve for a second time. It is the 13th of January. You may ask, what is going on here? Well, in Bulgaria, the first time we celebrate New Year's Eve is in December the 31st, obviously like everybody normally does, so. But then on January the 13th, next to January the 14th, they say old style calendar is the New Year's Eve again. Now something very interesting is happening. Let me just show you outside. You can see the industrial giants of the city of Pernik here. It's the coal mining town of Bulgaria. And what's interesting is the small villages behind the city of Pernik, up in the mountains, they have a very special ritual, and they are having this every year, this day, tonight, and it's going to start in just about 2 hours. So if you're wondering why it's dark when I'm filming, well, here is your reason. The thing happens in the night. It's mummers games. For this day, there are many old style traditions. There is like a special food placed on the table, people are lighting frankincense, and they try to scare away the bad spirits from their homes. But the most interesting ritual is the mummers games, which are taking place actually across the country, and on the western part of the country more so. So we are going to find a specific village up in the mountains and see what is going to happen tonight actually. It should start at 9 p.m. and as you know, coronavirus situation is taking over the world, so many public events are closed and cancelled, but the mummers games, they just cannot be cancelled. Actually, the games themselves, they are held in order to scare away the bad spirits, scare away bad health, all of those things, and bring happiness and joy and invite the warmer summer and spring months and good health and good prosperity for the families. So without further ado, let's just continue on the road, go up in the mountains and see what we can find, talk to those people, see their magical dances. They will light like a big bonfire, they have very special masks, but we just have to see it all. I have to admit, I love it. So it will be so relieving. Last year I missed this whole thing, to be honest, and see what happened across the world. So definitely we are not missing it this year. Come with me, it may be fun. What is kind of crazy is that if you actually happen to be in the capital of Bulgaria, right in the center, like on the main walking paths or something, today, this evening, tonight, you will not guess for a second that there is this special magical evening, this second time, you know, the old style New Year's Eve. The car is saying something, I hope it's nothing serious. So you only have to know this information and, you know, like get a car, as I have done, and venture over those smaller villages in order to actually experience this magical evening, those magical rituals. I have to admit, look at this Christmas decoration. It's kind of a little bit miserable. What do you think? Oh, I love those magical moments when you start off from the big city, everything is super normal, nothing special is going on. But if you know the information, if you go to the right place, there's like a magical ritual happening in the dark of the night, somewhere in the villages up in the mountain. Actually, the village that we're going to visit tonight is about 25 kilometers away from the Bulgarian-Serbian border. So it's pretty, you know, like tucked away to the side of the country. I cannot wait. They say what is the magical thing is the spirit of those rituals. It's called Surva in Bulgarian. So they say the spirit of Surva is amazing, and this is how it is. It's really something special. Whoa! Somebody has stopped here on the road. What is going on? Let's report it in Waze. It's not the way to go. Okay. Well, I stopped here by the side of the road to show you something. Can you see this little bonfire over there? We have already entered those little villages across the Pernik region. And I believe they have been Mummers games here on this little plaza in this anonymous place, but it has ended already. But the place that we are headed over to, they start in about an hour and 30 minutes, so we're definitely gonna catch them. Soon we are going to reach some of the more distant villages here as we are slowly climbing in the mountains, and we are going to start seeing more obvious signs of the Mummers games rituals which have been held earlier in most other villages. We may even see some Mummers. I don't know. I like this magical tradition for some reason. It's just so different from the ordinary life, you know, from the things that we see every day. It just brings life in such an interesting way. Alright, we have entered one of the villages where previous years I have came to observe those Mummers games, and I have seen a pretty big rituals being held here, so maybe we might see some Mummers on the streets. Perhaps on the plaza right in the center of the place. Although it's looking pretty desolated for now, so I'm not sure. Let's just drive right through it and see. We also need to be careful because as it is the New Year's Eve for the second time, even if so, people are getting a little bit drunk, I guess. They're celebrating, they're, you know, happy. So we need to be careful for somebody eventually crossing the street. Oh, what am I talking about? There is nobody here. Let's continue and carry on over to the next villages. Actually, what happens so is different groups with Mummers sometimes gather together. So they go through like their home village, celebrate there, and then if a different village is having the games later on, all of the Mummers will gather together and they will move on to the next villages. Sometimes with cars, sometimes I think they even walk and just, you know, play magical dances across the road and drink rakia and arrive at the next village where more groups gather, so the celebration can be even bigger. This is a way how they are supporting each other, the different small villages here in the Pernik provinces. So I did not see anybody here, to be honest. Oh, look at this tiny bridge. But I think this is because the games have been held earlier and everybody has actually moved over to this other place that we are also headed over to. It's kind of like the final place because they have the latest hour for holding the games, the Mummers rituals. So I think many other groups from adjacent villages may actually gather together to make it like a bigger celebration. There is a pretty big fire here. Wow. Wow, we need to stop and check it out. Oh wow. In this village, I think they are just celebrating right now. Look at what is going on.